internet is fast.
Hi, I'm Seth Godin. I'm the founder of the Alt MBA and the author of a book called This is Marketing. One of the biggest traps that marketers fall into is they think they want to
Hey
sell
guys.
to everyone. That Nike,
Just so you know,
Coke,
I'm freaking out a little
and
bit.
maybe even Apple sell to
And
everyone.
Seth
So
just
we
joined
should
the
try to
live,
sell
so
to
we're
everyone.
about to start.
You can't. You don't.
Okay. It's happening. It's happening. It's about to go down. Oh my God. Hi, Seth.
What a miracle. We're
Oh
all
my
across the world
goodness.
from each other.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for doing this work. It's such a pleasure.
Oh my God, thank you. So I know that, we don't have a lot of time and I'm going to respect your time. So we're just going to like jump right into it. I'll start with basically saying why I wanted to have this conversation with you, right? So a couple months ago, I started reading the book. So I got it here, All Marketers Self Stories. And just reading the prefix, there was something that caught my attention immediately. And I'll read it here. It's the last paragraph of the prefix. It says, when you find it, go tell a story. If it doesn't resonate, tell a story. Tell a different story. When you find a story that works, leave that story. Make it true, authentic, subject to scrutiny. All marketers are storytellers and all losers are liars. And then in page 10, like literally just at the beginning of the book, when you're talking about how telling a great story, you said a great story is true because it's consistent and authentic. The authentic word came in here again. And then you said great stories are trusted, that no marketer succeeds in telling a story unless he has earned the credibility to tell that story. Like just literally starting the book, I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing content, right? So I basically wanted to just, kind of follow through with the book and talk about telling authentic stories. So it's not just really storytelling that is a buzzword anymore, is how do personal brands and people who are building businesses, how do they leverage on authenticity to make sure that they build a thriving business? So I'll just hand over to you for like 10 minutes and we'll go to question and answer.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, authenticity is a crock. It's a myth. Authenticity is not important. People are trapped by authenticity, and we need to get the language right. So here we go. Authentic now means do whatever you feel like. Do what's in your heart. Just say it. No one wants an authentic doctor. No one wants an authentic lawyer. No one wants an authentic friend. We want someone who is consistent. We want someone who's going to do their best even if they don't feel like it. We want someone who's going to make a promise and keep it. That is how we tell the stories that actually matter. Because if you say, well, I was just being authentic, what you're trying to do is give us an excuse for why you were being selfish. Don't be selfish. What it means to be generous is to be consistent.
To be consistent.
And so the idea of telling a story is to make a promise, one that you can keep. And it's so tempting in a busy world to make promises you can't keep because everyone's hustling.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Peace, no one wants to be hustled. Have you ever met someone who said, I wish someone would hustle me?
Definitely not.
We don't want hustlers. Don't hustle people. Show up in a way you are willing to be consistent. And that will become you, because the last time you were authentic was when you were 3 months old in diapers. Ever since then, you've been doing stuff on purpose, doing it because you hope it will work. So do it on purpose. Be a professional.
Wow, that's a totally different angle, right? So like authenticity is just do whatever you feel like and show up consistently. So it's not about trying to be authentic. It's just, this is who I am right now, and I'm going to show up consistently that way every single time.
Exactly.
Wow. That's amazing. So there's this thing that a lot of, especially content creators, a lot of things that we face is, always trying to create a great story. And so sometimes we get stuck Because I mean, what really is the hack for creating a great story? How do we know that our content that we create would resonate and that people will love it?
Right. So my friend Bernadette Jiwa has written 5 books about this. And she's running a workshop with us next week at the storyskillsworkshop.com.
Yeah.
Story skills are skills, just like ice skating skills or juggling skills or surfing skills. They're a skill, and you can get better at it. So that's number 1, is you can learn. But number 2, the biggest one, is that you can't tell a story to everyone. It won't work. You have to tell a story to someone. You have to be specific. The idea is the smallest viable audience, not the biggest possible audience, the smallest audience you can thrive with. And so, you've got 10,000 people following you here on Instagram. None of those 10,000 people are waking up this morning saying, should I look at Kim Kardashian or should I go check out what Peace is up to? Because you don't do what she does. You picked your people and your people picked you. And social media has made us feel jealous if our numbers aren't big enough.
True.
Right? And that's how they make money. The thing is, these people who are following you aren't really following you. These people who are supposed to be your friends aren't really your friends. These people who are giving you likes don't really like you. That's just a little metric. And it's a metric they're putting in place to get us hooked. The alternative is to say, who exactly am I here to serve? Who am I trying to help? How can I make a promise to them that resonates in their own language, right? And there's a term I use all the time that I pronounce really poorly, saubana, right? The Zulu term. How do you say it?
Sorry, say that again.
Saubana.
Saubana. Yeah.
It means I see you. And it doesn't just mean I see your face. It means I see your parents and your grandparents before you. It means I see your dreams and your hopes and your fears. It means I see who you are trying to become. And if you can see the other person truly, then telling them a story isn't that hard. Because you know how they are listening, right? And so what we have to find is the empathy to show up for someone we care about and be willing to ignore everybody else.
Yeah. That's another powerful one. So it's not really about just trying to create a story. It's find that one person that you truly care about and create a story for them that would actually connect and resonate with them and solve their own problems. So if you understand one person and create content for them, then they will pick me back and hopefully we'll find more people like that.
Exactly.
Right. That's amazing. Okay, so my next question is about community building. And this is something that is beginning to trend a lot. A lot of content creators, entrepreneurs, freelancers, there's a lot of pressure that, we have to build a community. If we're going to build a sustainable business, then it has to be like a community, a lot of people who are like our loyal following. What are your thoughts on this?
So I wrote a whole book about it. And they're not your community. We don't get to own any community. They're already a community. They would probably be connected even if you weren't there. What we get to do is show up for a while and lead them. What we get to show up to do is to connect them even more deeply. But they will not follow us wherever we want to go. We can just help them get to where they want to go. So the idea of amplifying and creating community is, this isn't television. This isn't how do I broadcast. It's how do I give people a chance to talk about something, right? So because you are in the world piece, this magical group of 500 people who are watching us live are all talking to each other in the comments. They'd be having that conversation if it weren't for you. That doesn't mean you can then turn around and say, send me money. That's not the deal, right? The deal is that you are able to establish a connection and earn trust and attention between and among the people that you're interacting with. And then If you bring them a new opportunity, some of them, the ones who like to go first, will say, yes, I'm in. I'd like that ability to do it. But it's not about manipulation. It's about opening doors and turning on lights.
Yeah, it's about opening doors and turning out the light. You guys have to comment that on the session right now, because that's like a serious punchline, right? It's about opening doors and turning on the lights. That's amazing. Okay, so my next question is this. Briefly, it was from a friend. It's about pivots, like pivoting. So
I'm having
it's
a
about
little
pivots
trouble. I'm having a little trouble.
Can you hear me now?
But my brain isn't as fast as yours. So you got to talk a little slower so I can keep up with you.
Right. I'm sorry. I usually talk really fast. Okay. So this question is about pivoting, right? So somebody asked, if you're trying to build a personal brand, now people grow, people evolve, right? We change. And sometimes the story or the narrative we craft at the beginning of our journey, of our career, of our business, it would evolve as we change. So when that change happens and you're bold enough to take that change, what do you then do about your new audience? What if you're moving to a different niche? How do you take them? Or do you just abandon them and say, now I'm for a new set of people?
Okay, so back to where we started. Authenticity is make-believe. So personal brand is just what people expect from you. It's the promise you made. It's not who you actually are. It's who you said you would be when they engaged with you. So my doctor has a personal brand, but I have no idea what she's like in real life because she's not my friend. She's my doctor, right? A brand is what we expect. It's the promise that you make. If you don't want to keep making that promise, make a different promise, right? So do you know the singer Joni Mitchell from back in the old days, the American folk singer? She was very popular. She had more hit records in the 1970s than anybody else. So Joni Mitchell's personal brand is that she sang songs you could sing around the campfire. She sang songs that reminded you of the people you went to high school with. She was on the radio. And then one day she said, I don't want to make music like that. I want to make music like this. And a whole bunch of her fans said, we don't like that music. And she said, okay, you have my old records. Listen to my old records. My new records are for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do if we're going to truly do our work, is we have to figure out, where do we seek to go? Who do we seek to connect? Where do we seek to lead? And maybe people will come with us and maybe they won't.
That's
right?
It.
And you have to have the guts to do that, or else you're a fraud. And there's a difference between being consistent and being a fraud. You don't want to be a fraud because that means you are willingly doing something you know isn't right. And that's not what I'm arguing for. I'm arguing for being consistent in pursuit of the change you actually seek to make.
Also, so if you don't want to continue making that promise, make another promise, as long as it's truly who you are at that particular time. And if people don't want to follow you,
the promise you want to make, I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are.
Right. As long as the promise that you want to make, right. That makes a lot of sense. So someone asked, he said, if you're just starting your journey as a marketer, what would your advice be for the person?
I think that understanding that marketing is not advertising or hype, but marketing is about making a change happen. That's what we do. We make change happen. Change is hard. Change is hard when it doesn't work because you try to do something and it didn't work. And change is hard when it does work because when the world changes, it doesn't always come out the way we expect.
Yeah.
And so if you care, then you should make things better. And the best way to make things better is by changing them, by being a marketer. So if you care, you are willing to fail. You are willing to fail in service of making things better.
Market is not hype. So you have to be willing to care. And if you care, then you have to be willing to fail. And that means you are willing to make things better. Nice. I'm going to let all your quotes after this because you're just like really dropping them, and that's amazing. Okay. My next question it's a bit personal because time is already fast spent. What is your favorite failure story and why?
Well, I have failed more than most people on purpose. I have failed financially, and I have failed professionally. I have failed with products that didn't work. I would say my biggest failures are the things I didn't have the guts to try. I'm
Wow.
really proud of the things that I launched that didn't work because I did it with good intent and I did it with care. But the things I was afraid to try, the people I didn't find the energy to help, the doors I didn't open, the lights I didn't turn on, I can't get that chance again. And that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, is to say, how do I show up today without missing that opportunity? I mean, I've walked away, made mistakes that cost billions of US dollars. So it's not the money, it's what, with all of this privilege that we all have, this connection, that here you and I are talking 15,000 miles apart. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to just spend our time watching cat videos on YouTube and coming up with new emojis? I think we can do something better than that.
So the biggest failures are the things that you didn't try. Wow. Wow, amazing. And I mean, that really connected to me so much because I almost did send you that email. I just kept saying, I mean, why would he reply? Why would he reply? And just knowing now that that would have been a failure by just not reaching out. But hey, look at this, right? This is happening. So sometimes you just have to try. I mean, it would,
Well,
sometimes you fail.
I have to correct you for a second.
Yes,
because
please.
Most people who send me an email, I don't say yes. I didn't say
Why
yes.
did you
I
say
say
yes?
yes to everybody. And please, if you're watching this, don't send me an email. I said yes because you earned it. You earned it by showing up and showing up and showing up for the people you serve. That's the hard part, not sending the email, showing up.
Wow. I did not see that coming. I mean, because I kept honestly thinking, oh my God, he replied. And why? I'm going to phrase that phrase where you said, peace, you're a rock star. But thank you so much because this conversation is such a privilege, it's such an honor. I followed you for years and I'm like, this is happening, right? So thank you. It also kind of validates all the things I've done over the years. So I'm glad that you see that. We have 3 more minutes and I'm going to ask you two questions. The first one is, because you've said a lot and really deep stuff and everybody's commenting right now and we're all hyped, but it's going to be easy in another 1 hour, 1 week, a month that they forget that this happened. So if they forget everything else that you've said, what is that one piece of advice that you would have for content creators, entrepreneurs, and marketers?
Don't listen to advice.
Wow.
We learn by doing things. The reason that I built the workshops we run, like the Story Skills Workshop and the Alt MBA and everything else, is not because I'm in there sharing secrets. It's because people like you and others are in there doing work. The way you get better is by doing work, not by listening to advice. And I'm the person who said in 1992 that the World Wide Web was never going to work, that it was stupid and it didn't have a business model. Don't listen to advice. Just go do it. Do good work and then do it again.
And do it again. Awesome. And the final question is about my friend. She has been saying, ask that question. She said, Seth, what would be of value to you right now?
Oh, that one's easy. That's why I came. Because there are hundreds of people who could make things better. If hundreds of people who are watching this all made something better, that's so much more efficient than me trying to make things better. That what I need from the people I teach is for you to teach other people. And the way we're going to change the world isn't because some world leader puts out some proclamation. We're going to change the world because people like you make things better.
Right. Amazing. It's exactly 1:20 your time, 6:20 my time. So final words from you, and I'm going to respect your time and let you go.
Thank you so much. Keep making this rock. This work matters. Be safe. Be well.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow!
So ensure you end that thing.
I'm going to, but can I faint first?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, guys. I'm hyperventilated, so I don't know how I did that conversation for 20 minutes. But Seth said he would give me 20 minutes, and I absolutely want to respect his time. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for commenting.
You have questions.
I hope to go and faint now, but yeah, I literally just want to go and faint. But here's what's gonna happen. I'm recording this video and I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. So if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, it's Peace Itimi, Peace Itimi on YouTube. We edit the video and I'll put it on YouTube, so it's always there, so everybody can see the endorsement that said Godin gave. But guys, I honestly need to go and vent. So thank you so much for tuning in. Love, peace, bye, whatever, bye.
Stay safe.
Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye, guys.